Hi, this is Ben Poole for Finextra, and I'm joined by Penny Hembrow from CGI. Penny, thank you for joining me. Well, we're going to talk about the CGI Financial Consumer Survey. So first of all, maybe you could give me a bit of background to what that is.
Sure. So last year, we interviewed 1,200 consumers across North America and Europe to look at their expectations in the digital world from their financial services provider. That produced some really groundbreaking results. And so we've repeated it this year with a higher number of consumers. So in fact, we've gone out and interviewed 1,452 consumers from North America, Europe, and we've also included Australia this year, covering a range of questions and looking to deepen the results that we found last year, but also to look at what's the future banking model.
And so what are some of the highlights of the survey that you can share with me?
Well, let's start at the top. One of the first questions we asked them was, who is your main financial provider? So this is different from last year because we automatically assumed it was the bank. So this year, we actually asked that very open question. And the good news is that over 98% said it was their bank. It was either their high street bank, their savings bank or credit union, or it was their online bank. So very good news for the banks today. They are considered the main financial institution. So then if we go on to what are the services that people want from their main financial provider in this digital world, the findings in some ways are similar to last year, but in fact are also markedly different. So top of the list is protection. And what they're saying is, you, my bank, have actually my true personal identification. You really do know me as a person, which is different to my internet persona. So many people have different internet personas, but actually the bank really does know who you are at an individual level. And they're saying that this is very critical data. They're concerned about the security of this data. And 1 in 4 people will actually pay the bank to look after that for them. Now that is quite different from last year, where we thought that people were just concerned about hacking. They then went on to talk about rewards. Now rewards came up very prominently last year because people were saying, we expect rewards in the digital retail economy, and we expect a bank to do that. And in fact, we're seeing today in certain geographies, rewards starting to be introduced by the banks to their consumers. But they're saying they want full transaction history. They want to be rewarded for their loyalty to their bank. Now, that's different from the services they're getting even today. And in fact, I think only 14% of people said that they believed they were getting those services from their bank. So they're very interested in that. Wealth building is particularly becoming important, not only because the number of mass affluent people around the world is doubling over the next 5 years, and there's going to be a significant transfer of wealth going on, so inheritance and tax planning is very important for people. But individuals understand they're having to save for their own retirement, and they need to do that without any kind of guarantee as to what it's going to be worth. So how do they do that? And they're looking to their banks to provide that. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about personalised services. Now, most people think when you talk to a bank today that personalised services is about know your customer and be able to think about what they're going to buy next. In fact, what people are saying in this is different. They're saying, know me as an individual, yes, but really know what my goals and aspirations are. Now, so what they're really looking for is a very personalised shopping experience. They're looking almost for my best friend. You know me as an individual, you truly know me as an individual, you know what I want to do and where I want to be going, both short and long term. Help me to go out and reach out across the digital world, find those and bring them back in order for me to have a great financial well-being.
And so what do your survey results mean for the banks, do you think?
Well, I think they mean 2 things for the banks. The first is that it is absolutely critical that the banks innovate and go forward and create these overlay services. Now, they will, of course, change over time. Cash management, for example, which came out at sort of in the 5th position of overlay services, is becoming more and more available in the market. So it's sinking down in the importance because people are starting to have that kind of availability of services, particularly through online PFM capabilities. But what we do think is that those services will change. They'll morph because people will want to add them onto their usual purchasing patterns as well as long-term aspirations, and banks will need to rethink through how they connect banking to the way people live. That's the first implication. The second implication really comes back to this personalised service piece that I was talking about, as well as this digital ID. If the banks maintain their position as the holder of money, the holder of the trust around ID, and the holder of the payment services, those three together, and can add the convenience of being able to reach out, then they are in effect becoming a digital marketplace. Now that is very different as a platform to the core banking replacement discussions that are currently happening in the market. It means a completely new way of looking at how they support the financial well-being of consumers around the world.
Well, thank you very much for joining me and sharing the results of the survey, Penny.
Thank you, Ben.